ready to go. So here's a typical question, because by now we should all know how to find the equation of a line. Agreed? We need the slope, we need a point. So basics, what they're then going to do is hide the slope and the point from you, either in words or in the equation, all that sort of stuff. So let's have a look. A tangent is drawn to a circle with centre -1, -3. The point of contact with the circle is 2, -1. Find the equation of the tangent. Now, that might be a new word for some of us, tangent, but it's just something, Aston, that touches. So it can be, if I've got a parabola like so, the tangent is something that just touches. Okay? When we've got a circle, like the one that we're looking at here, oh, a little bit egg-shaped, but that's all right. Again, the tangent is something that just glances. It just touches. It doesn't cut all the way through. It just touches. And you can have infinitely many tangents all around the shop. Do we agree? Okay, so we haven't done exactly a question like this, but we have all the skills to be able to do it. Because it all comes back to, read the question, it's asking you to find the equation of a tangent, aka a straight line. So we're going through, all right, what do we need to find the equation of a straight line? Slope, point. So what is it that you're now going to do with the information before you? Do one thing. There's one thing that we should be able to add to that diagram. Ollie, right? Centre. So everyone should have drawn a circle. And we want to put the centre in here as -1, -3. What we should no longer be doing, we've stepped out of that, oh, I don't know what to do, so I'm not going to put anything on paper. We're not doing that anymore. We're going to put something down as much as we possibly can. So the point of contact with the circle for this tangent is 2, -1. So we're going to do with that. Pardon? Put a dot somewhere. Yeah, now look, do you want it to be specific and whatever? I don't really care. I mean, it helps if you are, for you to visualise. So this is -1, so 2 would be to the right of it. Would you agree? And this is -3, so -1 would just be a little bit higher. So somewhere here. If it wasn't accurate, doesn't really matter, but then it, you know, makes your visualisation a little bit harder. So 2, -1. So this is what we want to find the equation of. And again, we're going through what two things we need, slope and a point. Well, we've got the point. Do we agree? Problem is, no slope. And I guess this is the little bit of information that you might not have had before, but radius to a tangent, it's 90 degrees. How does that help you? Els has an idea. Have a think. Have a think. 90 degrees. So I can look at some people and they're not actually thinking. They're just waiting for somebody else to say. All right, we've got 2 people who reckon they know. Such an Australian thing, reckon. Reckon. Okay, Elle, you were up first. What would you like to share with us? Sorry, hang on. Go.
So we can find the slope of the radius, and because the tangent is perpendicular to it, the negative reciprocal would be the slope of the tangent.
So sorry, people at home are just hearing blank there, or might be able to hear Elle from the background, but she's saying find the slope of the radius because you've got 2 points here, right? You've got this point and you've got this point, which means you should be able to find the slope of that line. And the fact that you know it is then perpendicular to the tangent, you then flip and reverse the sign. Okay, so do we all remember how to find the slope between 2 points? You did it so much in your diagram that we should. Go, Anne. y2 minus y1. Love your work, love your style. And so just make sure, you know, sometimes if I'm knackered, oh, I don't know if I can say knackered, if I'm tired, I just make sure those are my y's because it's really easy to mix them up, okay? So -3, take, 1 becomes +1, and then -1, take 2, And away we go. Minus 3 plus is minus 2. Minus 1 take is minus 3. This bugs me a little bit when students leave it as minus 2 over minus 3. Can you please not do that? All right. 2/3. And then which point are you going to use to find the equation of the line? Gus? I said, which point are you going to use to find the equation of the line? It's not outside the window. Which point?
2.
The one, yeah, it's not a trick question. It's the one that lies on the line. But again, some people use this point to find, you know, and that would not be correct if you use the centre, because then you'd be finding the equation of the line through that one. And guess what? What did I forget to do? Flip it. So we want to use the perpendicular slope, so minus 3 over 2. So that's the information that you would use, and away you go. Someone just asked, why do we have to flip it? Because we're wanting the perpendicular slope, right? This one here, 2/3, is the slope of this. We want to find the equation of the purple, so therefore we have to flip and reverse the slope of that. Do we have to remind you about how we can find the equation of a line, or we reckon we've got that? Reckon again. We know how to do that now? Okay, just finish it. Okay. Gee, some of you are very particular. And that looks a bit funky. Minus 1. Okay, so I would write the slope y minus the y value, so take becomes plus, all over x take 2. It puts us in our happy place, right? Because, oh, this is so nice. We can do this. All we have to do is cross multiply, they all say at once. And notice I've given the negative to just one of the 3 or the 2. Don't give it to both, otherwise you're making it positive. So minus 3 x take 2 equals 2 y plus 1. And what decision do we have to now make? Yep, what form do we feel like? General. Okay, if we're in the general mood, then the 3 has to go over, because remember we want it to be positive. So we have 3x plus 2y. Get rid of the plus 2, we take 2. So 6 take 2 is 4. I just like to write it, like so. Yeah, we might have to have a little bit of a thing with that, because our week 9 is the Monday. So we'll see. Anyway, shh.
Week 8 Thursday.
Thanks, guys. So part of this topic, remember, was the whole substitution and elimination. We happy? Substitution, when we had x equals or y equals, we replaced one of those variables with whatever it said it equaled. Elimination, when do we use that? Yeah. So can we all wake up, please? And we need to be in the zone, okay? So elimination is when we want to eliminate one of the x's or the y's, and for that to happen, they need to have the same coefficient. All right, and to do that, we find either the smallest number that either the coefficients of x go into or y. You make a choice. Okay, this example, they've decided to get rid of the y's, so they've times 2 by 5 and 5 by 2. I would have gone, get rid of the x's because the number is smaller. What's the number that 3 and 2 both go into? 6. So I would have times by 2 and by 3. So we did that last lesson. What we want to do today is now move it along a little bit, and instead of them giving you the equations, you have to come up with them yourself. Keep going if you've done this. So, bit of an example here. Two numbers have a sum of 45 and a difference of 13. So you might want to have a heading, worded questions, examples. Example 1, 2, 3 we're going to go through. So hopefully these questions will be reasonably nice. Some of you might even go, I'm just looking at that question and I can tell what the two numbers would be. Now that's not going to be good enough because a question would say, write equations to represent that. So you have to make sure that you actually write the equations. So two numbers have a sum of 45 and a difference of 13. We start off. Do we know what the two numbers are? No, so guess what? What are we going to call them? X and Y, I know. Good old X, good old Y. So we let the two numbers be X and Y, and then we have to write this. They have a sum of 45. Yep, X plus Y equals 45. And then we've got, they have a difference of 13. Now, do you want it to be X take Y or Y take X? Does it matter? It won't matter. If you do X take Y, you do Y take X. Your X's will end up being your Y's and Y's will equal X, but they'll still be the same two numbers. Does that make sense? So don't get worried about any of that. So what do we want to write? X take Y? Yep. So we go X take Y equals 13. You now have a choice. Do you want to solve this using elimination or do you want to solve it using substitution? Substitution. Okay. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind because if I went elimination, for starters, they're all nice. X's underneath each other, Y's underneath each other, equals, yeah? And could I just eliminate either the X's or the Y's? Yeah. I mean, I could eliminate the Y's just by plussing. So X plus another X is 2X. Y plus minus Y? No Y. They're eliminated. 45 plus 13, 40, 58. Therefore, X is and if X is 29, how am I going to find what Y is? Sub it. So that means 29 plus Y equals 45. Therefore, Y is, whoops, 16. Done. It's the third example that is going to be just a little bit different. Anyway, so here we go. When shopping in Jamaica, that's why they can say this is now an international question. We're shopping in Jamaica. 5 coconuts and 14 bananas cost $8.70. 8 coconuts and 9 bananas cost $9.90. Find the cost of each coconut and banana. Yeah, I know, inflation. I think the question might change now. Anyway, what do you want to let the cost of the coconut be? Don't say X. Please don't say X. Let's go. CC, senor. Oh, that's not good. Let's go CC, senor. And what about the cost of a banana? B. Obviously, if you were buying berries and bananas, please don't use B and B. And look, if you want to use X and Y, knock yourself out. Okay, so what would be my first equation? B1 and B2, no. So 5 coconuts and 14B $8.70, no sweat. And then we've got 8 coconuts and 9 bananas for a cost of, so that's 8C plus 9B equals $9.90. Now I look at that and I go, coconuts. The lime and the coconut. They put the lime in the coconut. So we're doing it algebraically and then we're definitely going to check using our calculator. So we decided to eliminate the C's, so we had to times that by 8, times by 5, remembering to times everything through. 40 take 40, 0, so no C's. 112 take 45 will be 767. And what's that going to be? 20. Uh-oh. Does that work? Someone check my addition, I hope, because that's, you know. And therefore B, the cost of a banana is going to be 2010 divided by 67. So I would say that this is a reasonable question that they could ask you to do it by algebraic techniques. It's not that bad. However, if it's just a worded question and it says solve, set up equations and hence solve, you can use your calculator. So, well, I haven't finished because I'm now going to go. Yeah. So once I've got, I'm assuming now, so Gus just said, you haven't found it for the coconuts. I know, being unfair to the coconuts. You get your answer here for B and you would just sub it back into one of these and solve for C. We happy? We all good with that? Yeah. So can everyone get their answer? And I'm just going to get my calculator and you should have your graphics out as well. So just a quick reminder for you. Actually, I might as well just finish off this one. So 2010 divided by 67, because I cannot do that in my head. 2010 divided by 67. 30 cents. Oh, I should have been able to do that in my head. Okay. So, who remembers how do we use our calculator? Well done. So we go to a menu. We go into Equation. Right, and once you do that, read your screen. It will tell you what to do. We've got simultaneous equations, so it says press F1. Number of unknowns, 2. Fantastic. And we're going to pop in the original. So 5, 14, $8.70. 5, 14, $8.70. And then you're going to pop the next one in, 8, 9, 9.90. 8, 9, 9.90. We press solve. And look at that. Bananas, I was right. If you had to put it back in and sub, you would check. Yep. So I would argue that you should know if you're right or wrong for all of these questions in a test because you've got your graphics calculators. Okay, we could play around with this a whole lot. And I'm sure some of you could go bang and get it easily. But sometimes the 5 cent, the 10 cent, it's just confused. We've got 24 coins, we've got $1.55. What on earth is going on there? My tip to you is make sure that you read the very last sentence. How many of each type of coin do you have? And so that's where we will say, let X equal the number of 5 cent coins. And therefore, let Y equal the number of 10 cent coins. Because if you've got that in your head, I believe, most of the rest are reasonably easy. Let's deal first with there are 24 coins in total. So if X is the number of 5 cent coins and Y is the number of 10 cent coins, how does that help me get? Yeah, so the number of coins, so X and Y, so X plus Y has to equal 24. Are we happy with that? Now we have to deal with the other bit of information. Their total value is $1.55. Yeah, Marley?
Could you go like something like times X and Y and like add them together?
Yeah. So if I had X, let's say X was 7, if I had 7 5 cent coins, wouldn't that be 7 times 0.05?
Yeah.
And that would be 35 cents? Yeah. And so that is my number of 5 cent coins. In other words, that's my X. But I don't know how many I have. So would you agree that it's 0.5 times the number of coins that I have of 5 cents plus 10 cents times the number of 10-cent coins I have, and all that together has to equal $1.55. Now this is definitely a question I'm not going to bother solving algebraically. The whole point of this was to get the equations. All right? So, pardon? Oh, good on you. I messed that up. 50, that would be if it was 50 cents. Thank you very much. So 0.05. Thank you. Lovely class. I was getting a bit excited. Yeah? So where do we go now? To the calculator. That's right. So as you're going through these, thank you, as you're going through these worded questions, mix it up a little bit. If they're pleasant, maybe get some practice with substitution or elimination. If you think, yeah, nah, someone else go, baby, then use your calculator. But it's mainly getting the equation that we're after. So good luck. You're having a look at exercise 16D, I believe. Right, you've got your examples as it's going through, and hopefully that can help you. Love your work. Love your style.
Was that the worked out answer?